We're live.
I saw that, and my watch is in. We're live. We're live.
Technology.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Nikki Czek, Rob Cupello, and we're here to have just a Q&A, I guess, about AI. So I'm emailing, calling, and texting Rob every day because I have enormous amounts of patience. And I want it. I want all of the AI things now. I want AI agents. I want AI processes. I want AI doers. And Rob just smiles.
Unfortunately, we're not there yet.
Yeah. So, okay. So where are we? Can I pick a business?
Yes, do it.
Okay, let's do it. So if I am a healthcare, so I may be RMT, chiro, acupuncture, something like real hands-on services. What can I do today in my business
Using AI.
Using AI?
Well, I think the first thing, one thing I've learned is that there's a difference between AI and automation. So sometimes we tie those together and they're separate. So a business like this, like you're saying, there's probably areas where they can automate things that don't necessarily use AI, and there's things that they can use AI in. So that would be the first thing I'd probably look at.
Love it.
But one of the things I think all business and RMTs would be a good example is really understanding what their day-to-day workflow is and seeing, because typically an RMT story is like a one-person shop. Two, like there's not a lot of people that would typically, right? You run a business yourself. So how do we turn that person into 2 or 3 people for them by helping automate or add AI into their workflow? So one thing would be booking, right? Do they have a chatbot on their website that allows you to answer questions and just book appointments for you?
Yep.
That's number one. Are you reaching out to your clients? Are you using AI and automation?
So on that one, wouldn't you say most RMTs use like the Jane app or something already? Would there not already be something that they're using that you would consider automated?
I would say some of the process would be, but I suspect that it's automated from the time you book and maybe like your appointment notification and then like that sort of, but everything else that goes through the process of getting that client. Because if I'm an RMT and you're my client, you're probably going to book with me.
Totally.
But what about the person that's not your client? And how do I get that person? Jane app's not going to help me go get that person in, like any built in. But a lot of them will have chatbots built in. But again, I've learned that there's 98% of the chatbots out there are crap, because there's different types of chatbots, which is again, which is sort of coming from the learning I'm doing, is that there's a chatbot that is if this, then that. So all it does is like you put a parameter around it and say, if this question's asked, you do this, and that's it. But then there's generative chatbots that will answer and engage. So Air Canada used a generative chatbot, and it decided to give the person a discount, right? Because it was doing what the chatbot was told. You need to book seats. So as it learns, generative AI will learn and will say, well, I'm here to book a seat, so I'm going to give Nikki a discount. And the guy is like, yeah, no, you weren't supposed to get a discount. And the guy's like, well, too bad he won. He ended up getting a discount, right? So there's all these different types of chatbot you can. So from an RMT, that's another area where these are really like low-hanging fruit things. And the other one would be is sort of your communication with your clientele. So we find when we work with clients, that's a neglected part. Like,
agreed.
We all focus on getting new business, but what about the business sitting on our desk, right? So
a client that was in, or a patient that was in 3 years ago,
correct.
2 years ago.
You never talked to them again.
Never talked to them again.
So you can set up automation and AI tools. So automation and AI tools that will tie together, saying, okay, Nikki hasn't been here in 2 months, trigger this. Right? Or Rob hasn't been here, trigger this. And could be both, because the automation part is trigger this, but then you can use AI tools to write that email with a sales pitch that's going out to the person as well. So those are sort of low-hanging fruit right now, because right now, like, unfortunately, we don't have a lot, like we talk about agents, and you want a Nikki avatar that
so many.
We're not there yet. Like, the tools aren't there yet. And you see these really cool things on the internet and you watch the demo and you're like, really cool, but they're giving you the best of the best case scenario, then you try and it doesn't work. So they're just not, it's not there. Because remember, like an LLM like a Chat GPT is built to basically predict what the next thing to do is based on everything it's learned. It's just a predictive model. It's not doing anything per se until a couple of days ago when now you can do tasks with ChatGPT and Jim sent that email. So you can ask ChatGPT to remind you to look for the top 5 stories in something like I do. So every morning I say 7 a.m. send me the top 5 stories in AI from the world. So in my inbox at 7 a.m. ChatGPT will send it to me. So it's getting there. It's getting to action things, but it's not there yet.
Mm.
It's coming. It's coming really quick, but not there yet.
Okay. So let's pick another. Is there content writing? So we all know, or the majority of us know, that we can have content written using ChatGPT.
Correct.
We put a prompt, it produces an answer, may or may not be true, but it produces an answer, and then you have to vet it and edit it and make it accurate or true. But so we do that. Any business, we do that. We get the response back. Is it literally one for one? Is it I ask for a article about or a blog about,
right,
and I get it back, and then I manually go to my website and I put photos in and I put the thing in, and then I manually go to MailChimp and add it to a future newsletter, and I manually go and put the image in.
So yes,
Okay.
because I'm a big believer of human in the loop and all these things.
100%.
So everything you just said, 100% can be automated and 100% can have AI. That could happen today. I don't recommend it. Like I still recommend having the human in the loop or checking to make sure it's on brand, checking and all that sort of stuff. But it's interesting because yes, you can, what you said, there's tools out there like Make and AI Explain, and we can maybe add some of these links in the recording, but that will take this workflow and automate it and input AI. So we'll create the article, put it onto your social channel, put it onto your web. Like it will do all of that. You build the workflow and it'll actually do that. Now, easier said than done. You need to know what you're doing, and you gotta have the time to do it. But I recommend still having that human understand at every step what they're doing, making sure, like you said, that you're reading the blog, that it didn't say something it shouldn't say. That being said, it's interesting. I just read an article today, and I'm going to put it up on LinkedIn next couple of days, is that a company did a test, because we've been saying, do not write ChatGPT AI articles and put them on your website because it's going to get punished. Well, not so much. So an article just came out today that they ran the A/B test, human created content and AI created content onto blogs and pushed them out. And in a lot of cases, the AI content performed higher, ranked higher, and it performed higher than the human written content.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That makes an enormous amount of sense to me, because if you think about it, we have, true or false, I'm hearing sounds there, RJ. No? Maybe not. I understand that all content for all of humanity has now been consumed by AIs. They now have all of the data. So if I'm going to think for 1 second that I'm going to write an article, that is from an area that I have knowledge in, that I'm strong in, and I'm going to write it to be of interest to said humans, but that it's also going to be very interesting to the spiders and the robots that are reading to get it placed in searchability or index it for traffic. I'm delusional. Like I'm good, but I'm not that good. So I do believe that there's a huge opportunity for AIs to write something that will index and search.
Yeah, and it's proven. Like they ran this A/B test, and like I said, I'm publishing it on LinkedIn the next couple of days. That they ran this test, and I agree, because what's happening, and just actually one of the things you said, I just wanted to clarify. Like there's different large language models. Like ChatGPT is one. Like
Yeah.
there's Claude, there's all these. So ChatGPT itself, actually, it's been trained up to 2023. Like it stopped training in 2023. What it's doing now, that's why there's a little button on there that you can hit the World Wide Web and
Yeah.
it'll get real-time data now. But the actual model stopped training in 2023
Okay, why?
because it's consumed everything. Like it's consumed everything. So what
Got
they
it.
do, and now they're doing it in real time. So they're basically they're grabbing this information as you need it in real time. So the power of when you're working with a tool like a ChatGPT is making sure that, because if you just say write me a blog up and like it'll pull all the data in the world. But if you say act like a content creator for insert industry, it's now only going to train and learn and grab in real time, like with split second, just the information around that. So that you're going to get better information rather than. So that's one thing. The other thing, I agree with you. Like this is trained on. We talk about this like a doctor, because I'm fascinated by AI and health, and you are as well.
Very
Is that
much
you
so.
go to your doctor only has the knowledge of all the patients the doctor's seen. That's all it can do. Well, guess what? ChatGPT has knowledge of every doctor across the world that ever existed. Right.
Yeah.
So no different than you're saying. It's got the knowledge of every RMT company.
I want to query that
Correct.
database.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and I think what happened is that originally maybe Google was punishing, but also Google is in the AI space. They're a big player. So if they say on one side we're going to punish AI content, the other side they're going to like write AI content, use like how
A
are they
little
gonna-
bit of a conflict there.
Correct. Right. So, and now ChatGPT is a search engine. I use it. I use Google like not as much as I use it very little now. Actually, ChatGPT
Is that something?
is my preferred search.
Same.
So now ChatGPT is an AI model. So it actually not going to punish you from using AI as well. So there's an interesting change for sure in that whole space, but we'll see what happens now with even, like Meta now is not fact checking, for lack of a better word, right? They've made an announcement. TikTok might not exist anymore starting Sunday in the US. Like there's a lot of changes happening in the social space as well, which will be interesting to see how why I say that, because that changes, people search that way. Some people do search on TikTok. Some people search on Facebook. That's going to change a little bit as well. But back to your question, 100%, you can use these tools to create no excuses anymore. No one can be listening. I don't have time to do a blog. You can do it in like literally like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Like literally, right?
So no excuse. Every website should have content.
For sure. Yeah, and not just written word as well. There's tools out there that can create now video content and can create audio content for you based on that.
Okay, so let's pick those apart. Let's pick video and then let's pick audio.
Right.
Okay, so I've written a blog.
Yeah.
And how am I going to convert it to video?
So
how am I going to convert written word
to audio and video?
Yeah.
So there's a couple things you can do. There's a couple tools. One, there's a free tool called Notebook LM that is amazing, that you can put content in and actually creates a blog. So in real time, takes a couple of minutes actually.
Written.
You put a written article into Notebook LM and you'll create an audio podcast for you.
Okay.
Automatic. Two people talking. It's generated. It's a Google platform. It's free right now. I don't know if they're going to charge, but it'll actually create. We've done it. We have a podcast we've launched, the AI Advantage. It's taking reports that are like 50, 60, 100 page documents.
Written by you? No.
Right. So we put it into here and say, create a pod, analyze it. It's two people that talk, and then we put it into another product called CapCut, and CapCut will create video files from it as well. So all from that written document will create all these touch points for you right now. Now we're doing it manually because we're learning.
Yeah.
Right. But once we're comfortable, we're going to automate that process. We'll be able to automate that process, and you can but right now you could create you can create a written word, or vice versa. If you're more comfortable doing this, we can take the transcript from this and then create
the written
word. And we do that right for the newsroom. We do that. So that's another way of doing it. And AI will do that. And ChatGPT will take transcripts and create articles for you as well. Right. So, we keep saying ChatGPT because it's sort of the main one. Like there's Claude,
it's like Kleenex.
It kind of
like we know I'm talking about a tissue.
It is, and it's like $20 US a month for the paid you should be able to afford $20 if you're a business. Like it's a good $20, whatever. Well, actually, with the Canadian dollar now, it's $138 Canadian. But
joke. But yeah,
it's not the political show.
So is there, it is not?
And so,
It is not the really big show. True or false? Is there something that every single business in every single industry should be considering or looking at or deploying or putting into their workflows?
yeah, for me, the absolute baseline is ChatGPT. I think that's a starting point for me would be paid version of ChatGPT in order to create content. That would be the baseline for me. Then the second layer would be a tool that will help you create assets. Like I use Midjourney, our tool that can create imagery or assets for you, because I find like we've worked with clients for 25 plus years, and typically the struggle is content. And in like assets. Well, usually we don't have good images, or we don't have video, we don't, it's expensive, we'll get it. To me, at the baseline, those two, because all the other tools need, if you want to create newsletters, guess what? You need written word and you need imagery. If you want to do an ad, you need written word, you need imagery. So to me, that would be the baseline of it. And just start playing around with it. Like we're launching courses to help people understand how you prompt properly, because there is a science behind it. And I walked in, I said, I'm tired. Like my brain hurts. Like I'm in classes and they're teaching you how to like properly prompt and the science behind it and what words to use and not to use and why one word makes a big difference. Like there's a science behind it, and we'll be releasing like prompts for people to use and stuff as well eventually, that they can actually, go to a library and see which prompt to use for whatever tactic they're looking for. But in the meantime, to me, those are sort of the low hanging fruit. And there's free tools. Like Grok's an awesome tool.
Yeah.
Grok is an awesome tool. It's Elon's Musk for X. Awesome tool. It's free. Download it on your phone. It creates really good images.
So if you have an X account, hear this, you have the ability to create an image that you need for your blog for free.
Yeah. And it's yours to use. That's a question we get asked. Like that image is yours to use, and it will never create the same image twice. Like ChatGPT will never create the same piece of content twice. So that image is yours to use.
That's interesting. How sure are you?
Because it's predictive. So it will never create, even that's where a ChatGPT.
That's when I get frustrated when I ask it to make an edit
and it does image,
and that's a whole different
image. Yeah, or even an article. So now ChatGPT does have a thing called Canvas that will run beside that. You can ask it to just change certain parts of the article or certain parts of an image, so it doesn't change the whole thing. So they just released that over Christmas, because right now it'll regenerate. Every time it'll regenerate a completely different image or completely different.
So that's interesting, because when I think of the creation of a brand or a logo, I pause or hesitate in having a business or a new business go straight to these tools to use this, because I understand that you do not have the copyright for that when it is created from AI. So that would certainly be a concern for me if I'm going to create a logo or a brand, and then I'm going to put it on a billboard, and I'm going to put it on a vehicle, and I'm going to put it everywhere, and all of a sudden it comes out again somewhere else, and then I have a
it won't create the same image twice. So it doesn't matter. Even the logo tools, it won't create the same image twice. So in a lot of the tools up there, like the logo creation tools, they're using
the
ChatGPT or Claude or Wrapper. They're just because there's only so many large. Like it costs billions of dollars to create a large language. Actually, one just launched, DeepSeek. It's out of China. It only costs $6 million. It's a game changer in LLM, because they just put $6 million into build a large language model, and like Meta spent billions of dollars. And so that's a whole different discussion, but there is that's going to change a little bit on how these models are going to come out for sure. But yeah, for now though, you have access to those. You own the what's created there. Now every law is different. There's going to be, Europe's got more restrictions in US, like I don't know what US is doing and I don't even know what we're doing with it, but the laws around AI. But right now, yeah, if you create an image, it's yours to use.
So let's talk about, and I think we can close after this, unless you've got any mind blowing softwares or solutions to talk about. I think I think there isn't one ring to rule them all. I don't think there's a single thing that will take from cradle to grave and do all the things that you want it to do. So I think it's knowing, having knowledge to know that this thing does this really good,
Right.
and then we can plug it into this thing to do this and this thing to do this. So quoting. I hate writing quotes. I
Right.
do not enjoy it. And you've
Creative. We think
Yeah,
a
through-
workflow for that.
yeah. So can you share?
So yeah, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up because probably another tool I would add as a tool that you should use, either ChatGPT as it in an image, is a Fathom or Otter, which
Yep.
records your meeting. So it can record a meeting like a virtual meeting or in-person meeting. You just have it beside you on your phone. So it will record a meeting. So Fathom and Otter, there's free versions. Again, a lot of stuff about our free versions you can use. And if you use more of the tools, you pay, and there's like, $20-$30 a month. But you can create a meeting and then you can load that transcript into ChatGPT.
Okay.
Right.
So a recording of my meeting.
Correct.
We've got back and forth conversation with a prospect. Yep.
You load the transcript into ChatGPT.
Okay.
Right.
The written, not the video. Okay.
The actual transcript of it.
So Descript.
Well, Otter will give you just the transcript.
Got it.
We'll just pull the transcript up. So you put it into ChatGPT, and then you can give it a set of prompts that you would have to write, like what you wanted to do with the information. Like for us, would be like, I'm going to create a quote. Here's the style I want. So you just have to create the prompt once because you can just use the same prompt all the time.
Okay.
Then you create that, and then you could tie in a tool called Gamma, which is a slide builder. And it will dynamically, because it's a GPT within ChatGPT, will dynamically build that slide deck for you. So on a couple, like literally within an hour, you should be able to have a meeting, create the transcript, create the proposal, edit it yourself, because there's going to be some edit, and hit send to the client within an hour. And I'm probably exaggerating. You could probably do it less than an hour. Once you get into it, you should be able to have those out in like half hour. No excuse. Now, again, human in the loop, once it creates it, we've done a couple of these workflows. I've gone in and edited, and I wouldn't say it this way. But the model will learn, and it gets better and better as it learns. But yeah, you can create that process for anything you do. So if I'm a plumber and I go to a client's house, I could record that conversation and load it into ChatGPT and create an estimate with a click of a button.
See, that's so to everyone that has been listening to us or that is going to watch this post recorded, if some of the language or the softwares that maybe were not familiar to you or you didn't have a clue what we were saying, that's your cue. You need to begin to know these softwares and know this language and what LLM is, and prompt engineering is truly you change your question, change your life. So the way that you're asking these LLMs to give you what it is that you're looking for, you have to be very clear, and you have to learn science. It's a skill that has to be learned. So definitely want to see you at our January 30th event. It's open for registrations right now. It's going to be at the Laurel Packing House from 12 to 5. And we definitely want you there learning alongside of us.
Yeah, and I'm also doing a free webinar next Thursday between 4 and 5. So we've sent the newsletter, but if you're interested, just reach out. It's AI 101. I'll talk a little bit more about these tools, just for people that are just like, I hear this, what do I do? So we'll be running those once a month, just sort of baseline, because these tools change literally every day. So we're going to be running those once a month. There'll be free 1-hour webinars just to come and learn. And then we are launching our course as well in February. So we'll be launching a 6-week course if someone wants to learn more about this and do a little bit of a deeper dive, we'll be launching a course as well through this. But I would say at the very least, sign up for the free webinar, come out to our event at the end of January. We're going to have an amazing panel there. Peter Diamandis' talk as well. So it'll be really good learning on first, like it's $50. It's really $50. So,
Yep. And I'll close with, if you have any questions, ask Rob. He'd be happy to
I love
find
this
you
stuff.
the answer, or keep you in the queue for when there is an answer to whatever your question is. But there's it's only going to get better every single day in its capabilities and in what it can do. And please get on the AI bus.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.